Best way I know is tell a story and ask a question. Tell a story, ask a question. Tell a story, ask a question. Tell a story, ask a question. To all of these, tell a story, ask a question. Okay? Adriana says, you know, I just don't have the money right now. You know, look, Adriana, I understand. I get it. I didn't have, you know, at the end of the month, I had too much month at the end of the money, no matter how much you're making. You know, it's a struggle to pay the bills nowadays and, you know, take care of everybody that needs taken care of and taking care of responsibilities, doing all that stuff. And when I looked at this, for me, I didn't know if it was responsible for me to scrape up another $500 or $1,000 in order to be able to start a business. But let me tell you what I realized, Adriana. I realized looking at my life, if I didn't change, nothing was going to change. If I didn't do something different, I was going to look at the next 5 years just like I looked at the last 5 years. My life was going by, and I needed to do something in order to be able to create a future, a better future for my family. So you know what I did? I found a way. You know, I realized that it wasn't really about the money. It was about my belief in, do I want a bigger future for my family or don't I? And I decided I wanted a bigger future for my family. So let me ask you a question for you. If you looked at this really, you looked at your options, and you came to the conclusion that if things didn't change, something didn't change, then your life wasn't going to change, and you really wanted change. If you decided that was important enough, could you find the money? Yeah, I'm sure I could. Sure. Tell a story, ask a question. Tell a story, ask a question. Now, if that story doesn't line up congruently with your actual experience, say, let me tell you a story about a good friend of mine. Here's what they told me. They told me what I just said. And here's the question that they asked in their mind. And if you asked yourself that same question, what conclusion would you come to? I'm not acting defensive. I'm not acting offensive. I'm acting as a consultant. I'm telling them a story to help paint a picture in their mind of where they could go if they open up their eliminate their limiting beliefs and open up their mind to a better future for themselves. You could even, because what's the limiting belief if I don't have the money? I'm not sure if I can do this. You could put that into your story. What I really realized is I wasn't sure if I could do this. Because if I was sure I could do this, I could find the money. So I did a little bit of homework, and I asked some questions, and I talked to some other people, and I realized, you know what? I can do this, and I can. And so can you. And we can do it together. Do you know where I'm going to go with this? Story, question. Story, question. I know exactly how you feel. You know what? I've been so stressed out and frazzled in my life and in my business. I looked at this and I looked at that and story. And the bottom line was I realized that if I didn't make the time, I was never going to have the time. I had to invest to get it back. So let me ask you a question. If you want to be able to get some more time, do you think that maybe something needs to change in order to be able to make that happen? The answer is yes, then, we can find the time, can't we? I realized I could build this business in 15-minute increments. I could build this business in 15-minute blocks. I could take 10 hours a day, and that was 40 different 15-minute blocks over the course of a week, and I could create a future. That's what I realized. I didn't have 2 hours anywhere in my life, but I had 15 minutes all over the place. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just not that kind of person. I get it. Me neither. Story, question. I don't know anybody. Story, question. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have any experience. Story, question. Practice that. Story, question, story, question, story, question. Avoid making people feel stupid in this process. You have that objection? Are you dumb or something? Relate to the person. Tell your story. Limiting belief in network marketing. And tell other people's stories. Is this MLM? Is this one of those things? Is this a pyramid? Is it legal? I'm not interested in MLM. I don't want to bother my friends. How much are you making? You ever heard those before? A few times? Why do you hear them? You hear them for one of two reasons. They either have psychic damage, they've had some experience and it's been mentally damaging to them. They bought that lottery ticket, they've been there, they've done it. They still have, the stuff sitting in the kitchen closet. Or they're curious. And you can usually tell by how they ask the question. So, is this one of those, kind of like Amway, direct selling, Herbalife type of things? That's an okay, they're curious. Is this one of I've heard about these. Is this one of those things? Or is this MLM? Different question. Same question, completely different question. So you can tell if they ask with emotion or if they ask without emotion. They're just simply curious. So, let me tell you how we deal with this. This is one of my favorite questions. This one would normally strikes fear into the heart of people, doesn't it? Person says, is this network marketing? You go, I got to go here. I got to deal with this. I got to go down this road. What do you mean by network marketing? Is this a pyramid? Oh, you mean like the government? Like every organizational structure on planet Earth? You mean like that? You don't have to go there. Here's where you go with this. If they ask it with curiosity, say, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be involved with anything else. Duh. Yeah. Awesome. Or two, if they ask with emotion, here's what you do if they ask with emotion. I go to Mike. Hey, Mike. I got something, da-da-da-da-da. Give me the objection. Give me is this MLM objection? Is this network marketing? And you can tell by his face. He's not happy about the idea that it might be. Is this network marketing? So here's how you answer that. You go, whoa, wait. You got a story. What happened? Tell me what happened. I got to hear the story. Was it you or was it somebody in your family? It was you? How long ago? 5 years ago. What happened? Did the company go out of business? Did it, what happened? Company went out of business. How'd that feel? Yeah. Did you have a team built when that happened? Yeah, a little bit of team. So you had some skills. Really? Wow. If they hadn't fallen apart, do you think you'd still be doing it? Absolutely. Interesting. So you took a step back because, kind of an emotional experience when a company went out of business. But companies go out of business in every profession, right? Every profession. Do you think it was network marketing that let you down, or do you think it was that company? The company, huh? So if you became comfortable that a company wasn't going to let you down, do you think you'd ever, once you got that seed of network marketing in you, I just found that, you're going to find another opportunity at some point in your life. You're going to do something. So do you think If you found a company that you believe in, do you think you can get your hopes up one more time? Possibly. Interesting. Interesting. So, we have isn't that a fun conversation? It's a fun conversation. How many people have been involved in network marketing before and swore off, never again? Never, ever, ever. This gentleman. What's your name, sir? Yuli. Yep. Hi, Yuli. Glad
to meet you.
How are you?
Great.
So there was a time when you were not happy about network marketing.
That is correct.
Right. How long was that ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So if I contact you and say, hey, I've got something that I respect you, I don't have a lot of time, but I found something I'm really interested in, and before I can get it out of my mouth, you say, no. What do you say? You ask the question. Is this another network marketing company? I say, wait, Yuli, wait. You have a story. What happened? What happened? What was it you or somebody else that you know that was involved? It was you and some other people. And what happened? How long were you involved? A year. And did you have a little team built? Not really. So you were involved for a year, and what was discouraging about it? What didn't you like about it?
Well, it basically came down to me, and it was a combination of both. Myself not being committed.
Yeah? It was a combination of you not being committed. What else?
As well as the corporate had some hanky-panky going on.
Yeah, so the company had some hanky-panky going on. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That happens. That happens. So one day you just said, you know what? What was the thing that broke the camel's back? Was it you saying, you know what, I'm not giving it, or you just losing your belief in the company, so you just said, you know, I can't promote something I don't believe in?
It was a combination of both.
Combination of both.
It wasn't quite ready for that yet.
Wasn't quite ready. Was there something that happened? Was there a day, was there a moment that you just said, okay, it's over? Or did you just fade?
I think I faded.
Faded? Yeah. Happens with a lot of people. Happens with a lot of people. And it's okay to lose the faith. You know, it's.
In that particular instance, I wasn't exactly destitute.
You weren't destitute. You had other things you could do. You see over the company. Yeah. So you had other options. You could do other things. So let me ask you, if there was a way that you could see yourself being really committed to it, number one, if you believed in it, and you also believed in the company, that they were going to do things right.
I'm all in.
What do you think? Do you think that you would ever open up your mind to considering it again?
I'm a different person.
I'm a different person now. See, it started with, don't start with me. And this was a real story. And all of you have real stories. Here's what I know about somebody that's been involved in network marketing. They're going to get involved again. For sure. For every one of those questions, the answer is basically the same. Every single one. You have a story, don't you? Was it somebody in your family? Was it you? What was going on? Tell me your story. Tell me what happened. Ask them some questions. Relate to them. I get it. I'd be heartbroken too. Company went out of business. What a disaster. All those people who looked to you for guidance and support. Gosh, I'm sorry that happened. Happens sometimes in business. I'm sorry that happened to you. Do you think it was network marketing or maybe that company? Do you think it was your upline or do you think it was the profession? Yes. He said, I don't have a story, I'm just not interested. If you might not have a personal story, but you have an opinion, why are you not interested? Because you've heard somebody else or you've seen somebody else that has done this and you didn't like the way it looked or the way they acted or something happened. You can't have that opinion without some input, some life experience. You just can't. It's like, if you've heard about like a neighbor that did something, they'll tell you that part of the story. It's really fun to do. You take yourself out of prospecting mode and you just say, I'm all ears. Tell me. Tell me what happened.